How's it going, everyone? Another lovely day here in Florida, I guess. Before we start this video, or before I start talking about stuff, just a quick, you know, rest in peace, Chester Bennington of Lincoln Park. It's crazy, man. All these famous people committing suicide. Chris Connell not that long ago. What was a few months ago. Now Chester Bennington hung himself. You know, these famous people fight demons that we have no clue of, and the difference between them and us is that they're thrusted into the spotlight. So just it's tough being famous, I guess. So just get that out the way. R.I.P. to him. Hopefully things get better with that. So we'll get on to some fight news or stuff. So there's been rumors. From what I hear, it's close to being finalized for November, if I'm not mistaken. Deontay Wilder versus Luis Ortiz. That's right. Bronze Bomber versus King Kong. That fight is really kind of an interesting one, as it's a step up in competition for Wilder. I know a lot of people are going to say blah blah blah. No, it's a step up. I mean, he's not. He has faced some decent guys, but King Kong is on another level. With that being said, King Kong has been busted for peds, and he didn't look too good in his last fight after being busted. So we'll see how that goes. Can he take the punch? Can Wilder take King Kong's punch? Because he's from that Cuban school of boxing, and he's very accurate. So right now I'm going to call it a 50-50 fight. And I'll say the first guy that lands big probably wins. So with that being said, there's that. Oh, excuse me. Like I said, we got Mikey Garcia coming up. Return of Rashid Warren on the Mikey Garcia Broner undercard. That's gonna be a nice little fight. Maybe he'll get back to being the champion. See how it goes. It's a 118-pound fighter, by the way. Kind of a slow week in this, but there's that. There's a possible. I'm not gonna say it's possible, but Robert Whittaker just won the UFC interim middleweight title. Haven't heard exactly if he's going to be out, what the deal is. There was some speculation. If you saw the fight, you could tell that he was messed up in the leg. Don't know if it was knee, ankle, whatever it may be. With that being said, there's a possibility that he could be out. Yoel Romero and Mike Bisping is a fight to make, in my opinion, for the UFC. But they're low on super fights. But Yoel Romero, Mike Bisping, title or no title, there's a lot of heat in that fight. It's not made up heat; it's genuine heat. Go watch Yoel Romero's social media, his YouTube, all that. You'll see when he's talking about Mike Bisping, it's legit heat. And that's a fight I would love to see. With that being, so I would hope the UFC decides if Whittaker can't go, put Romero in. Just this past week, Gegard Mousasi, a huge signing for Bellator. If you don't know Gegard Mousasi, then you're definitely a casual fan and have no knowledge about the sport. Mousasi was on a 5-fight win streak, just beat Chris Weidman. So there's a lot of interesting matchups for him in Bellator. So with that being said, that's a big signing. I think they build around him because the Bellator middleweight division isn't complete. I don't want to say it's the weakest division in Bellator, so they could use some help. Mousasi is definitely the guy to build around. I know Cavallo, I believe his name is, Brazilian champion in Bellator, 100 middleweight champion. I believe he's got a fight coming up against. I know he's defending the title soon, so I don't see Gegard coming in and getting a immediate title shot like Ryan Bader did. So, but he's fighting Alexander Shlemenko, the former middleweight champion, and that's a pretty decent matchup. I think Gegard wins it, though. I'm pretty sure Gegard is just going to dominate him. Nothing against Shlemenko, but my money's on Gegard. That card in general just seems like a decent, another good Bellator card. Of course, it's going to be free on TV, so why not tune in, get some good action. We got Battleground this weekend. Yeah, WWE Battlegrounds this Sunday. You know, SmackDown always puts on a decent pay-per-view. What else is out there? I know Michael Venom Page, Bellator fighter, got his boxing license. I believe he was an amateur boxer, so you know, everybody's doing the Conor, monkey see, monkey do. You know what I mean? I do know Paulie Malignaggi. Speaking of Conor, Paulie Malignaggi is going out there, going to be a sparring partner, and a lot of people are probably going to disagree with me on this, but I think it's a good pickup. You know, he's got great boxing skills. He's not the biggest puncher, but I think he can give Conor a lot of insight into movement. Just, I don't want to say defense because I don't think Conor's going to practice too much defense. I think Paulie's a good pickup for him, and will do wonders with him there if it's more than just sparring. Sorry. Outside of that, pretty slow week. I know Joanna Jędrzejczyk, UFC strawweight champion. Her next fight is possibly Rose Namajunas. If you don't know Rose, go look her up. I think she gives Joanna a run for her money, but Joanna's just a different type of beast. Second baddest woman on the planet behind Chris Cyborg. Outside of that, not too much. Got Ultimate Fighter coming up, Gaethje with Alvarez. They're going to introduce the 125-pound women's division. So there's that to look forward to. I don't watch stuff anymore. I stopped after season 10. They just became repetitive and boring, and there wasn't much to it. So there's that. Yeah, that's kind of it right now, you know. Like I said, comment, you know, share the video, comment. Comments would definitely be appreciated on what topics you want to talk about. So, you know, the more y'all bring it up, I'll talk about it. Other than that, just enjoy the day, man. Later.